As experts, technocrats, stakeholders and analysts debate the recent Central Bank of Nigeria Forex Policy restrictions on 41 commodities, the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry hosted a private sector dialogue dissecting the impact of the policy decision. In his opening remarks, the president of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Mr. Remi Bello, spoke on the essence of the forum.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we are in a democracy. Participation and engagement are some of the important tenets of democracy. The purpose of this gathering, therefore, is to constructively engage the CBN on some of its policies, especially the ones relating to the management of foreign exchange. It is a platform for stakeholders to ventilate their concerns and apprehensions on the various policies of the CBN.
The key moment of the dialogue was a panel discourse that looked at the forex policy restrictions and its implications for the economy.
Let me start by laying this foundation that the business of macroeconomic management in any country, Nigeria is not an exception. It's the business of the fiscal authorities and the business of the monetary authorities. So the two key agencies of macroeconomic management must come together for macroeconomic management in any country to make sense. The implication is the central bank must do its own bit of the job, and that arm of government responsible for fiscal policy, in this case, in the case of Nigeria, the Federal Ministry of Finance must do its own part.
First and foremost, we must accept that, yes, the country does not have the funds in Forex to actually meet the current expectation. Nobody is doubting that, and I don't think we're all new to that. And how long it has been known to everybody is going well over a year, over the last 2 years. Now, the ability of the government or the central bank to create enough macro policies to actually meet up to these mitigating circumstances that we have all found ourselves in is what is making us all sit down here. Now, going first to this additional list of 41 or 40, turned 41 the next day. We are of the view that some of it has not been thought through fully, and I'll explain why. With some, we totally agree. I'm not in objection to private jet because it's not really an industrial sector in this country. But I have an issue where you classify raw materials as finished goods, and I think it's lack of understanding.
The first thing is that when you have only bad options in front of you, the only thing you can do is try to take the one that gives you the best chance of success, not the ones that looks most attractive. Second, is that we should not confuse the restrictions on the 41 items as import substitution. It is purely foreign exchange management given the quagmire that the Nigerian economy finds itself. Third, and most importantly, is that the dichotomy between the needs of the manufacturing and the industrialized sector and the position of the central bank, as probably captured by the Director of Monetary Policy in the issue of how the two, the fiscal and the monetary side has to work, has been a standard feature of the Nigerian political economy, and is not something that we've had. Now, having established these three premises, here are my thoughts. Sometime in the fourth quarter of 2014, we were all aware of the issues relating to oil. We knew the challenges we had in terms of our forex reserves, and we knew that, like the economists who are traditionally predisposed to what you call open economies and trade liberalization, which forms their understanding of how developed economies should operate, believing Nigeria ought to have taken the action that we need. It's a case of a stitch in time. We did not take that action then. And the big elephant in the room was something called politics, something called elections.
Stakeholders speak further on the dialogue, CBN Forex restrictions, and the economic impact.
The CBN understands the concept very well. In pursuing its mandate, it basically focuses on the three choices it has in terms of its instrument. But when you find at a macroeconomic level, you do not only just focus on monetary policies, you then have to do it in conjunction and in tandem with those fiscal side. However, in this situation, what the CBN found itself was that it needed to act, and thus it acted in the absence of a fiscal side team being in place. Perhaps that accentuates the reason why the economic management team, the Minister of Finance, the Chief Economic Advisor, in working now with the Central Bank Governor, can then meet together. Together, that's the economic management team. When they now sit together, they now look at the quantum of these decisions. And I think that the CBN people acquitted themselves very well in terms of their response.
It is too ambiguous. It is too open to misinterpretation. And that is our biggest fear. And most of the manufacturers are already seeing the problem happening in the banks, with some of them refusing to open firms under these circumstances. So if the case we want to protect manufacturers, we've gone from protecting the importers of the finished products, like in our case, where if wire and cable becomes a prohibition on Forex, then finished cable is on the finished goods, is available for you to buy at the cheaper rate. Then what's the point? You've already killed the manufacturer. I might as well be an importer of finished cable because it's not on that 41 list.
With regard to the policy, which the central bank at the end, the clarifications it gave with respect to the operations in the foreign exchange market, basically, there were a summary of the issues that were discussed here, and one of the takeaways which we said we're going to look at, which they said they needed clarity around, was the definition of the items that were included, the 41 items that we said were not valid for foreign at the interbank. Then we said, okay, we could look at it. They also did mention the issue of continuous interaction between the central bank and the Chamber of Commerce. We did say that that was a very good suggestion, that we're also going to take it as a take-home, which would again look at it. There's nothing wrong with trying to interact with critical stakeholders to know what you will do, or even to know the impact of your policies. Again, we say that that was quite a good reason, and we could take it home.
One key takeaway from this dialogue is that the fundamentals of the monetary policy of the Central Bank of Nigeria must revolve around the economy.